I'm not sure if I am or not. Okay, I am live. And my microphone works. So, I'm just gonna start this. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Dude, I love this music. We're back with some more Last of Us. Um, like before, or like last week. I'm gonna be basically playing the game every week, just like in the show. Like every week, I'm gonna be playing a new part of the game, more correlates towards the game. Just like either give my thoughts, some details, and even in game, just certain details or certain things that I found out, or just things I appreciate. I still don't really have a name for this type of stuff. I just doing this just because I don't know. I like this. I like doing this, and I like to have a log of this, I guess. I know I'm like taking notes on the show, and certain things that I noticed are just certain things that happen in the show. But I don't know. I thought I'd do this just because. Mm. But yes, it's episode 2 instead of the whatchamacallit. Is this the right one? Hoping this is the right one. This one. Okay, before anything starts, just want to say. Alright, before anything starts, in the first 2 episodes there have been a like an intro like scene that do not or they kind of explain certain things. And I can't remember if I mentioned or not, but in the first episode of the show and yeah, in the show, there was a whole scene with scientists saying like trying to explain like, oh, if there was, sickness and stuff like that, we could definitely win. And then there's this dude who talks about like certain things that we would definitely lose to, one of them being fungus, cordyceps virus, as I think he pretty much, or I pretty much, which is I think is what he said, and that we would lose. Now, flash forward to the hell episode. It happens, or to this episode. I mean, I'm so stupid and I can't explain things correctly. So in episode 2, we have another intro scene. Except it's not from like the 30s. It's actually 2 days before um first time we see Joel, Sarah, and Tommy. It happens 2 days before in Jakarta. In the first episode, they mentioned Jakarta being one of the first widespread places for the whole infection. So 2 days before, we see a soldier or 2 soldiers walk into a restaurant, a pack full of like a whole restaurant where everyone's eating like their greens, vegetables, and stuff like that. Greens and vegetables, the same thing. And they're there to go pick up somebody, a woman. We later find out that this woman is a mycologist. Word of the day, mycologist. She's a person who studies fungi, and she's taken to their lab just to like inspect a specimen of the other scientists there. She's a mycologist at a university, but she goes to this lab, I think a government lab, and there she's there to be a secondary like mind, like a secondary like person source of what's been going on. And she sees it is a Opiocordyceps, I think that's how you say it. And she's like, "Oh, like how did you like manage to get it on this like petri dish?" It's a it's a fungi. And she's like, "That's from a human." And she is scared And then she doesn't believe them, and so she is brought to a room with a dead body. This body is one of the first infected, not infect, like, they're not alive. She's dead. She's shot in the head. But she is there to inspect it and to, like, see for herself what's been going on. She sees the bite wound in her left ankle. She opens it, and there's just fungi. It is. It looks like cotton. It looks weird to see it under human skin. And then the scientist or the mycologist puts tweezers into the victim's mouth and pulls out little, like, fungi, live fungi. And that's when she realizes this is real. And so she is told basically that there are 14 people missing on this date and that they were infected at a flowering grain factory. This is important because I don't know why people theorize this. Or, okay, it makes sense as to why people theorize this, but I knew this a long time ago. Like, after I played the Last of Us for the first time, I just started, like, always on YouTube and I found something. But basically, the whole fungi originated on ants, or at least to my memory, like this person explained, it was on ants that would control the ant and make it basically, it's a zombie. It gets controlled by the fungi, and when it does its bidding and whatever, and at some point when it dies, it releases spores to infect more. But also it could, like, just grow out to extend onto other fungi or other ants to infect more ants. And what they told me is that they're usually in, or like, they usually, like, these ants specific. He mentioned a specific ant that would go on to cocoa beans and, like, other crops that us humans would consume every day, which would explain how the whole infection happened in the game. And in the show, it's flour and grain. And in the entire first episode, we were shown different, like, things, like different, like, desserts and treats that would be a perfect infection, like, starter. Like in the first episode, there was biscuits that were given to a grandma. I'm pretty sure I mentioned her. She became infected, and then cookies, and then just that's a start. I knew this, and it was confirmed in the show that that's the main reason for the spread of the virus. And then also she later, like, was, like, very shaken because there were 14 people still missing in Jakarta, and the soldier asked her what they should do, like, if we, like, she's there to help them find a medicine, a vaccine, or whatever. She says there is no cure. There is no vaccine. Which, in my mind, we know, I know why they mentioned vaccine. It's because that's the whole point of Ellie, right? We saw in the last stream that Ellie is the key to saving the human race and is supposed to find a cure or a vaccine. She says there is none. And he asks, well, what should we do? And she mentions bomb. I'm going to bring that up later. But that's currently it. Let's just jump into it because this is literally one of the first scenes in the show. That's a lot of talk. I apologize.
Alright, they're gone.
Look, what was the plan? Let's say that we deliver you to the Fireflies. What then?
Marlene, she said that they have their own little quarantine zone with doctors there still trying to find a cure.
Yeah, we've heard that before, huh, Tess?
And that whatever happened to me is the key to finding a vaccine.
Oh, Jesus.
Line in the show.
It's what she said.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Hey, fuck you, man. I didn't ask for this.
Me neither. Tess, what the hell are we doing here?
What if it's true?
I can't...
What if, Joel? I mean, we've come this far. Let's just finish it.
Do I need to remind you what is out there?
I get it.
Okay, so that's basically what happened in the show, except one of the differences is like it makes sense for like film purposes. It happens the next morning, and there's certain differences like they have a whole like little back and forth between Joel and Tess, or not Joel and Tess, Joel and Ellie. Like they butt way more heads in the show. I feel like, at least to my knowledge. And in the show, and in the game, Joel is very skeptical about like why, or like Ellie being the cure, or like the hope for like she's the key to like survival and whatever. I feel like he's way more skeptical in the show, because he's constantly like, oh well, like she's bit, like how, like, you know, there's no way. Tess is more just like, well, she survived the night, so she's fine.
I guess this is what these buildings look like up close.
Also,
They're
this
so
building
damn
is in the show.
tall.
This entire building's in the
So
show.
what happened here?
They bombed the hell out of the surrounding areas to the quarantine zones, hoping to kill as much of the infected as possible. It worked. For a little while.
She mentioned bomb. Gee, I wonder where that came from. Okay, in the show, this is slightly different. In the show, or I know it's nearly the same thing. In the show, they walk past a little divot in the ground. A little divot in the ground, and
What the hell was that?
Tess, you hear that?
Yeah. Sounded pretty far away, though.
Shit.
that also happens in the show.
Now, come on.
Also happens in the show. They hear a little flicker in the distance, and it scares both Joel, Tess, and Ellie, because she has no idea what those are. And they walk across. Okay, in the show they walk by a divot, and they basically mention a bomb. Now, earlier in the episode, I mentioned how the mycologist mentions bombing Jakarta and everybody in it, and America obviously does the same thing, contain the infection from spreading.
Oh, there's the Capitol building.
Yeah. We need to get around this mess.
This is the downtown area?
Yep.
It was. Now it's a giant wasteland.
Okay. I've been playing so many different games.
Over here.
Okay. Okay, now this is another difference in the show and in the game. In the show, they're blocked. Actually, no, this is somewhat similar. In the show, they were blocked by just a whole bunch of debris, so they couldn't just walk down the street. And so they go around to like see if there's another path. In the in the game, there's just a huge divot that they have to go around. Rats.
Hey, Tess?
Coming.
Except in the show, they don't have this building, this office building. And I would know because I literally just watched the episode and people explaining stuff in the thing.
It's been ripped apart. Body's pretty fresh.
Is that bad?
Yeah, it might be. Let's not stick around.
So in the show that also happens, I'll explain, or yeah, I'll just explain it now. In the show, they Actually, no, that's not really that important. At least not yet. But yeah, this doesn't happen in the show. Like, this entire building does not happen in the show. Oh. Let's see. State of action. 7/20/33. OIC Waters. Area of operations 2438A. 808. Arrived grid 2438A. Negative contact at LZ. Moving patrol west towards Center City. I can't speak. City Center. 21. Negative contact 2218. Negative effing contact 2312. Private Atwater. Reports visual sound contact stage 2 cordyceps. Infected near collapsed office building. Moving to investigate. 2340. Multiple infected contacts. Private Atwaters, Shaw, Coolidge, KIA. Overrun fell back to building interior waiting evac. I'm guessing that evac
These
never
guys
came.
died waiting for backup.
Ooh. Another thing to note, in the show, while they're on like the little like highway, Ellie starts asking questions about like, you know, are the rumors true about like mutated infected, where they throw spores at people and ones that can see in the dark and their heads are split and they're basically like bats.
Jeez. What's wrong with its face?
The years of infection will do to you.
So what, are they blind?
Sort of. They see using sound.
Bats?
Like that. If you hear one clicking, you gotta hide. That's how they spot you.
That's foreshadowed.
The building feels like it's about to fall apart.
In the show,
Watch your head.
like, she asks about, like, mutated, infected.
Totally cool.
You gotta leave, dude. Ashley Johnson's plays her so well, I can't even lie. Like, she's a little kid. She acts like a little kid so well. That's so weird to say, but it's true. Website update. So Ellie asks about the mutated infected, and they brush him off like, oh yeah, none of them are true, don't worry about it. And they immediately hear a clicker sound in the background. Now, obviously, if you've played the games,
Yeah, with us.
you'll know what I mean. Oh, God. And that's the first time we see a clicker in the game.
You alright?
It's nothing.
I mean, it's not nothing.
Search for
I'm like
supplies.
less than my
Shit.
lesser.
Oh, that was
Oh,
intense.
You said it.
Okay, alcohol.
Here, patch yourself up.
Appreciate it.
Okay, and this is where we can craft our medkits. Perfect. Okay. There isn't really anything to note and compare with
There you go.
the show and in the game right now. Because again, this is completely not in the show at all. Except the first time we see a clicker, we see it at the end of the show, or at the end of the first episode. Like when they're escaping the QZ zone, like after Joel killed a guard, like I mentioned in the previous stream if you haven't seen it. Or if you haven't even seen the show, do that. I highly recommend it, actually.
Let's get the hell out of here.
I highly recommend seeing or watching the show, especially if you are intending on watching it. I would like not watch this at all. I would watch the first 2 episodes and then come back and watch
Up there.
this. Ooh, another dude.
Just see if
But yeah,
there's
the
a
first
way
one-
through.
This first time you see a clicker is a little bit later in the show from where we are now. Come on, Ellie.
It's clear. Come
For
on,
now.
Ellie.
All right, kid, you're up.
Come on. You got it. There you go. Okay. Come on, big guy. Give me your hand. Let's go.
This guy really just died upside down. Or at least he died, fell backwards, and is now upside down.
Hookers?
Shit. Go, go.
Also, this scene is near parallel in the show, it's like different location. If the clickers were ever a real thing, we would not survive. Like, I just gotta say that. We would not survive. I need to make another, just in case. The only way we can kill clickers from a sneak attack. Go away, go away. There. I'm trying to remember the buttons. Cough for some reason. Itchy throat. Where are you going? You can go this way.
That's our way out. Over the scaffolding.
Over there.
I think that's it.
Another dead dude.
Ellie, you okay?
Other than shitting my pants, I'm fine.
Let's go.
The stairwell's blocked. Should we go back up?
Great.
There you go, ladies.
All right. Come on.
Hello. There you go.
Ah, this is crazy.
Just don't look down.
It makes sense as to why I didn't have this part in the game. For one, it's too dark. Also, if they were to do this, they would
Mural platforms.
do certain things that, like, it would be really hard to film, but also, like, just,
Possibly go.
it's really hard to explain. Or at least from a filmmaker's perspective. Not from my perspective. I mean, like, in general, it would be really difficult.
Come on, Ellie.
Yeah. Don't look down. Just don't look down.
You're okay. We gotta wait.
And if you've played the second game, you'll know that there's something that worse than this height. I keep forgetting the flashlight button is right stick. Oh, revolver.
I'll go
Well, I'm
check it
gonna
out.
take this.
Stay with the girl.
So in the show, Joel has it just by default. Has a revolver by default since the quarantine zone area of the game. And not like just the 9mm that we have. Oh my god. Triangle. Dude, I swear, the infected looks so scary. They just do. Both in the game and in the show. They're just so terrifying. Check my controller. Okay. I took notes, and I'm trying to remember, but I have to look at my notes because I'm really bad at this. Let's see. Tess is more willing to like do this, and then right now, like after Ellie told her about like the bite, and like why she is so like she is like important to Marlene, both in the show and in the game. Tess is very willing. So like, oh well, maybe we should just give it a shot, you know? Maybe like something will happen. While Joel is more just like, she's bit. There's no way. There's no way she's of importance to us. No! Dude, I'm trying to recover from that. Joel is very skeptical when she first meets Ellie. They usually have this talk earlier, like after like they're being scanned and stuff like that. Or, like during their scan. What the heck? What am I being spotted by? Oh my god, I'm getting very sidetracked. Joel is more skeptical, Tess is more willing to go along with the whole thing because she sees hope. Like there was something that was hidden in her. Like, I am wording this poorly. Like Tess, up to this point, Tess is more just like, you know, like more like Joel, where like she's had to adapt to the whole world. She has to do certain things she regrets now, like killing people, taking from people, stealing from people, having to do certain things that if the whole like infection happened, or like if the whole thing didn't happen, she wouldn't even be doing. But now, as she finds that there might be hope for the world, she is like, the horror humanity side basically lights up and is reignited. Like there's a new opportunity for her to go back to, you know, not having to be the way she is now. Oh okay. Well, Joel is just as cold as ice right now. Oh my god. Okay. I think there's a weapon over here I can use on quicker. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I think that's everything.
Alright, come on down.
He's out of breath. Joel is just cold-hearted. I'm just gonna go back.
Press, Joel.
And like he said earlier in the previous like little scene, they've heard the whole notion of a cure and a whole like, you know, saving, or like a saving grace for the infection. So he's still very just like, you know, there's no way. Still, you know, he thinks that it's like a huge lie or just a huge overreaction of just because someone is immune doesn't mean anything.
Tess, go.
All right, hold on.
City bombed.
This'll work.
Around this time, Ellie and Joel just butt heads constantly. Like they just constantly go back and forth, like just like with little like, things like, oh, how did you know about this or stuff like that. It's like, oh, their school's stupid or whatever. And just they go back and forth a lot more around this time.
See?
Um.
Doing all right?
Also around this time, and something that I don't think happens
Here,
in the show,
patch
at least
yourself up.
not from my knowledge. Joel and Ellie have a little conversation between the two
Whoa.
about
Let's get to it.
just random conversation. Like it's very awkward.
Down we
Like they're trying to
go.
get to know each other just because
You get
they
through
wait
here.
on Tess to do stuff.
Watch your back.
And we also find out that in the show, and I don't know if it's true in the game, but Tess is from Detroit. Just a little detail that I thought maybe I should mention.
I'm thinking after we get back, we can take it easy for a little while.
You want to take it easy.
Hey, you're the one always going on about laying low.
And you always brush me off.
Well, not this time.
Don't believe it when I say it.
There's a little hint in the game that Joel and Tess aren't just friends, or like they could be more than just friends. And the show is a bit more obvious, but like those little lines that just say like, oh, well maybe I want this time. Who knows? I don't know. I like those details in this game, or like just in general.
Through here.
But this game has a lot of those like little lines that are said.
Tess, down here.
And this definitely doesn't happen in the show. Oh, Molotov. I wonder how speedrunners do it, though. Like, how do they do this? Oh, I forgot there's this whole thing. Listen to mode. Maximum health. Weapon sway. Let's just do weapon sway. I feel like that's gonna be helpful. Or that, no, that is helpful. Ain't too bad now. Okay.
Look at his sleeve. Firefly.
Okay. There's a note. Meet up with 2nd Firefly team at Capitol Building. Capitol, Gold Dome. Girl 5'3", question mark, 14 years old with red hair.
They're from the quarantine zone.
See? They're not our guys.
Alright, am I going the right way? It was, so it's this way. You know, this is one of the most terrifying parts, these parts of the game make it very tense.
Over there, see him?
Shit.
I'll kind of mention it later, because there's another one of these that happen.
Okay, Joel, you take point. I'll watch the rear. Ellie, no matter what, you stay right on his heels.
Sure.
You stay sharp.
I got it.
This Shiv. Dude, these clickers, dude, terrifying. There's just a way to get around them without, like, actually, like, having to kill any. Dude, they're so creepy. I know from behind the scenes for the game, from what I remember them saying, they actually, like, at some point, like, each of the actors that play, like, Joel, Tess, Ellie, Tommy, and all of them, they actually acted like infected, like clickers. I can't remember exactly why. I think it's just like to get in the mindset of like just how creepy they could be. Wait for you to pass. That's the wrong buttons, dude. Oh my god. Oh. Where did Ellie go? She's over there. Walk too fast, you could alert them. Hurry up! Come on! Oh my god, oh my god. So tense. There's nothing really much to say except just how tense this is. Okay. Bullets. That's not why we're here. 343.78. Derek at the bookstore is letting us use his safe when you close tonight. Put my stuff in there. 343.78. I just want to say that Tess and Joel and Ellie went out without jackets in the rain at night. Just want to say that really quick because that's crazy. Like, I would not do that whatsoever. Okay. Visual aid. Nope, wrong button. Pretty sure we can skip that, but I don't.
Clicker.
Think you ever tell me there's a clicker over there, Tess? Like, I needed to know that. Come on. Come on, kill it. Okay. Like I could. I already have it. Okay. 343.78. It's a code if I remember correctly. You and me both, Ellie. So if I just do this without actually killing any of the clickers or needing to kill any of the clickers. Cross this before they do the little screech thing. There's gotta be a way I can kill this guy without actually being seen.
clicker.
You're telling me there's a clicker. Dude, those are so creepy. With red eyes, a little bit of blood in it. Ugh, no. Mm. Okay. It's 3:43. I overdid it. 43:78. There we go. Not much parts. Here we go. There's a clicker there. Probably should have done my listening mode louder, or like distance.
Clicker.
This way.
This way.
This way.
What's out of this? Come on.
Joel, over there, on your left.
Just gonna take this one out. Just gonna take it out. Hello? There we go.
Alright, come on.
This is so tense, dude. Because those are like one hit. You get hit once, you're dead, unless you have like the shiv. Like you can take them off you if they grapple onto you. And the only way you can actually like kill them without being detected by other ones is with shivs. And if you don't have any bullets, the only way you can kill them is with like the pipe and the wood.
Everyone okay?
Plank.
Yes. Let's move. You guys are pretty good at this stuff.
It's called luck. And it is gonna run out.
Is there anything over here? No? Okay. Also, remember he says luck, and it's going to run out. That is... comes up later. That's just so crazy. This is
Where we going, Tess?
so beautiful.
Capitol building's in this direction.
Gotta take him out. Alright then.
Here we go.
Move, Ellie. Move, Ellie. Move, Ellie. Move, Ellie. Not like Ellie, like move. Out of the way.
Climb on up. All right.
Let's CBI pamphlet. I can't speak for some reason. The Center of Disease Control has produced this pamphlet on cordyceps brain infection (CBI) to increase awareness and prevention of infection. Background: the cordyceps mushroom is a parasitic fungi that can take over a host's mind and alter its behavior. Until recently, it has only affected insects and some arthropods. A new species has emerged with the ability to target human hosts. Transmissions: two known ways to contact CBI are breathing the spores emitted by the cordyceps, contact with bodily fluids as a person infected with CBI, usually by being bitten. Incubation: after inhalation infection, the parasite travels to the host brain over a period of 1 to 2 days. Incubation concludes when the cordyceps has taken over all major bodily functions of the host. Stage 1. Stage 1 CBI patients display erratic, violent behavior, lashing out at anyone around them. Eventually, the fungus pushes through the host tissue to allow for the release of airborne spores. Treatment: there is no vaccine for CBI, nor any treatment to lengthen the incubation period. Diagnosis: CBI can be diagnosed using a blood or microscopic imaging test, usually administered against the ear. Within minutes of contraction, the result of this test will come out positive. Which is something we see early in the show and in the game. The little thing they put up against their head.
Joel, over here.
Maybe we can cut through here.
This.
What? I don't hear anything.
Okay, double time.
I know!
Let's keep going.
That's not ideal.
You got something on your shoe. Gross.
Okay, how do we get out of this place?
Let's find out.
This also doesn't happen in the show. Oh, more alcohol.
Well, that's what she believes.
Well, how were you bitten? I mean, you must have been somewhere you shouldn't to find an infected in the zone.
Yeah, I'd sneak out. I was in this military boarding school.
You'd sneak out?
You know, explore the city. I was in the mall when I ran into infected.
That place is completely off limits. How the hell did you get in there?
I had my ways. Anyways, one of those, what you guys call runners, bit me, and that was that.
I see.
So
You
talk
with
happens
Marlene
in the.
when you were bitten?
No. I went to her for help afterwards.
Knowing her, I'm surprised she didn't shoot you.
She almost did. Hope she's all right.
I told you. She's gonna be fine.
This little talk does happen in the show, but very
Let's
differently.
see what we got.
She mentions the mall, like she was in the mall. Oh, how do I do this? I don't have that. Okay, let's just do the capacity. Because, so I can carry my bullets, in case. That little talk does happen between them. She mentions the mall, like she won't like mall where she wasn't supposed to be. And she does mention, like, how did she not shoot you or whatever. So the line is different. Instead of her, like, being like, oh, she almost did, she's just like, oh, because I clearly wasn't an effing monster or whatever. So there's that. Also, she mentions, like, were you alone? And she said, yeah. You know, she lied about being alone when that happened. I don't have a toolkit
This
yet.
is good.
She lied. Obviously, she wasn't there by herself, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, the talk does happen. We also know that she's an orphan in the show, and in the game, she went to the boarding school, which was also mentioned in the show. What else? Oh, busts. Both lead to the same place. Should probably make another one just in case. Just in case.
Ah, shit! Sorry! Sorry, that was me.
Tess.
Sorry.
Come on, stay close to me.
That thing kind of happens in the show. I think we're in the museum. Yeah, we are. Okay. Quick little thing that doesn't happen in the show, or that doesn't happen in the game, but happens in the show. So the whole office building, obviously, I mentioned it at least a couple times now, doesn't happen. But they do go through a building to figure out a way to get through, because they have two options, like a long way or a short way, or a short way, also meaning definitely death type way. And so they go through just to make sure there is a way for them to get through. And they go through a hotel, which we'll get to that I think in the next couple episodes. But they go through and that's when they have a little talk about everything. Also, something that happens during that little conversation I forgot to mention is she asks how long they last. Joel in the show says they usually last from 1 to 2 months, but some have been alive for about 20 years now. 20 years meaning since the beginning of the outbreak. And after that, Tess tells them that there's something going on down the street, and then that's when we see a whole bunch of infected. Not just walking around or doing whatever on the street. They're on the ground. And this leads to the next thing I noted. They're all connected. And something that that the director mentioned. They aren't doing the spores. And one quick thing, when he mentioned this, it made way more sense as to why they didn't do the spores. In the show, they are all connected. There's a hive type mine place where they have a whole bunch of fungi just going along, just going across several miles from where they start. And if you were to step on a little tendon, other cordyceps infected from miles away know where you are and they'll rush towards you to infect you. Also meaning if you kill one, they also know where you are and they'll come and kill you. That's another thing. So they're all neurologically sort of they are connected through the fungi because they're all the same species of fungi. So they're all connected through that way. And this is also when she mentions they're not immune from being ripped apart, that Ellie's not immune from being ripped apart. She's also never seen a clicker. I'm not sure if it's canon in the show or in the game, I mean. But yeah, and then they go through a historical museum, which is where we are right now, to get to the Capitol building. And so that's where we are right now. Also, some of these little things.
What is this place?
It's a museum.
It's an old museum. Some of these things are hundreds of years old. Really?
That's stupid. Also, something that I just didn't realize or just thought of. Voice cracked. Whatchamacallit. This is an interesting site to have to go near or go by, because this if I'm not mistaken, Boston was the start of the Civil War. Start to gain their freedom and, like, you know,
All right, watch your head.
not being treated differently from a different, you know, group. And this is sort of the start of
I'll make my way around.
getting our humanity back in the game and in the show. If I'm not mistaken, like, the Boston Massacre happened in, obviously, Boston or Massachusetts, and also just the Boston Tea Party and a whole bunch of other Civil War, like, notable, like, events. Oh God. Oh God. Got more. Also, some of these little stands that have been in there that are in this game are also in the show because they're real life little, like, because obviously it's a real life event. Also, this happens in the show. The building collapsed and then they're being swarmed by infected. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't have a bottle, nor do I have a brick. Hoping I can do this. There's a brick over there, but I'm not gonna risk losing. Well, now I have to go over here. So that's fun. That's fun. But yeah, this happens in the show, where they are attacked by clickers. And this is where Ellie sees the clickers for the first time. And I just gotta say, they look so perfect in the show. They are so disgusting looking in the show. They're just perfect. They did such a good job on the clickers in the show. I just gotta say that. They're literally identical to, like, the game. And to think they were gonna try to do something different. Come on. Perfect. Can I close it? No. Am I going down or am I going up? I'm going up. But in the show, they don't get separated. In the show, they don't get separated. The ceiling does collapse, and that's what attracts the clickers, or at least to them in the show. But also in the show, by this point, Joel has an AR, which obviously doesn't happen in the show.
Guys, get in here! The girl!
Okay. If this is a real life, Joel would have, like, a spray in his wrist or something. At least something like that. I don't have anything. To each their own.
it's too damn close.
So in the show, chaos also just erupts. And also, something I just want to point out since we're in the museum, while the whole clickers things happen, they obviously get caught because they somewhat use their echolocation, but also use their hearing. When they're being chased around, there's only like 2 clickers also in the show. They're in the museum. While Joel is being chased, he distracts the clicker by throwing, or not throwing, but like toppling over one of the busts into a glass into a glass like case, which then like distracts the clicker from Joel, which I feel like is a nod to the game.
Tess,
But
how are you holding up?
Just a bit winded. This way. This will get us to the roof.
oh no, I missed the thing. I missed the thing. I missed the thing. I am so upset with myself. But this game is beautiful, man. This game just is. And they actually replicate the beauty of the world in the game or in the show. Also, that line being winded is
We gotta find a way
different because in the show, Tess gets her ankle twisted, like sprained. My thing is different, and it's around this time where like Joel is still trying to like still very skeptical, like, oh, we shouldn't do this or whatever, like that was too close. And Tess is obviously angry, or not obviously, but she's angry at Joel for not being optimistic about the whole situation. Like, why can't you just take this and just like, be happy with it or whatever? So she's very,
Now watch your step as you're going now, because it's going to be a little...
They're kind of butt heads here, but not as much as in the show. This also happens in the show where they have to cross the building. I feel like that wood is under so much weight under Joel.
So is that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, can't deny that view.
Come on, this way.
The line's also on the show, along with the music.
Hey,
and his
pick it up.
watches glance at his watch also happens in the show because he
Look, we're
is
almost
still
done. Stay focused.
still remembers.
Yes, ma'am.
She's very angry. Notice that. In the show, she's also very angry.
It's right around this corner. Come on.
Let's keep moving, kid.
Let's see. It's not really this entire episode isn't that much different to the game. Orders patrol the rendezvous areas, ensure no military presence before moving the girl next to the next safe house. Handwriting. Make sure the girl is well fed and in good health. Her safety is of utmost importance.
Look at this.
There's a Firefly logo on his arm. What if we get there and they're all dead?
They won't be.
But how do you know?
I just do. Look, it's gonna be fine.
Okay.
Do this.
Get up straight.
Also, something different from in the show that I remember, or that that is a decent difference both in the from the show and the game.
Up and over.
In the game, no matter where you're bit or no matter where you're scratched, you have within a day or two until you fully succumb to like the infection. In the show, it depends on where you're bitten or scratched. Like if you're bitten in the knee or whatever, it's like a day, and your arms / torso area, it's like 12 hours, and when it's like neck up, it's like 10 to 15 minutes, if I remember correctly, or 15 to 30 minutes.
There we go.
That's just another difference.
Home stretch, Tess.
This game is so beautiful, man.
Just so it's out there, I can't swim.
Look, it looks like it's shallow on the right side. Follow me.
I'm glad Marlene hired you guys.
What do you mean?
I know you guys are getting paid for this, but I'm trying to save this.
Yeah, sure thing.
She doesn't say that in the game, at least to my knowledge, but then there's a reason, sort of. I don't know, but there is a reason. And in the show, also, they mention how she can't swim, but it's a completely separate context to this whole thing. And also, another thing right now, actually no, I'll say until after.
No. No, no, no.
Fireflies are dead.
What happens now?
What are you doing, Tess?
Maybe they had a map or something to tell us where they were going.
Okay, fireflies are dead here. In the show, they wait outside the Capitol building because there's like vehicles and like trucks with firefly symbols on them. And they realize like there's blood leading into the building, and then that's when they go inside and they see this happen. Also, that map line is nearly identical to what's in the show.
It needs to go.
Dude.
Where was this lab of theirs?
Oh, she never said. She only mentioned that it was someplace out west.
That's also on the
What are
show.
we doing here? This is not us.
What do you know about us?
Yes.
About me?
I know that you are smarter than this.
Really? Guess what? We're shitty people, Joel. It's been that way for a long time.
No, we are survivors.
This is our chance.
It is over, Tess!
Tess.
Now, we tried. Let's just go home.
I'm not going anywhere. This is my last stop.
What?
What?
Our luck had to run out sooner or later.
You going...
Luck had to run out sooner or later.
No, don't! Don't touch me.
Holy shit.
She's infected.
She's infected.
Joel,
Let me see.
I didn't mean for this.
Show it to me.
Show it to me.
Oh, Christ.
Same spot on the show, by the way.
Oops, right? Give me your arm. This was 3 weeks. I was bitten an hour ago, and it's already worse. This is fucking real, Joel. You've got to get this girl to Tommy's. He used to run with this crew. He'll know where to go.
No. That was your crusade. I am not doing that.
Yes, you are. Look. There's enough here that you have to feel some sort of obligation to me, so you get her to Tommy's.
Oh, man. I'm ruining the scene, but for me, it hurts.
They're here.
Damn it.
I can buy you some time, but you have to run.
You want us to just leave you here?
Yes.
There is no way that...
I will not turn into one of those things. Come on. Make this easy for me.
I can find...
No, just go! Just fucking go.
Ellie,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this.
get a move on.
I don't know. You can see the hurt in his voice. Oh, man. Breathe out.
We know you're in there. Drop your weapons and come out with your hands up.
What the fuck? I can't believe we did that.
Stop.
We just left her to die.
Stop. You stay close to me. We have to move.
Okay. So you got a bunch of differences here. This is one of the bigger differences in the entire episode. Um, so in obviously we see here that the 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 Fireflies are dead because of the soldiers, the Fedra soldiers, because they are against the Fireflies up to that point. Um, in the show, they are dead due to the infected instead of the soldiers. And what is explained to us by Joel, or what he assumes happened, is one of them got infected, and they try to fight, and the healthy one tried to fight off the infected, and both sides lost. Um, and obviously, or not obviously, but like Tess, she is erratic. She's like, oh, there's got to be a map. There's got to be some radio that works so we can contact them. And then she breaks down. She's like, our luck had to run out, or like she that isn't her home anymore, or that was never home, which hurts us because we know like she never liked that. Like she didn't want to be in Boston or whatever. But also, she's also bitten in the show. I didn't. I was not surprised because I felt like that was just one of the things you can't change in the game and in the show. Between the game and the show, I mean. But she's bitten in the same place, around the same place, like in the museum. Like we see her get separated, and then we don't see her for a while. And in the show or in the game, it's we see her. I think we see her get bitten, and she just hides it from us, which explains why she's angry both in the game and in the show. After the museum is like, oh well, like what we just gotta get this done, and like whatever, like why can't you just take this or whatever. So there's that, and so the whole like sacrifice thing also happens.
Oh, man.
Just keep pushing forward.
You hear her dad.
Target neutralized. She took out 2 of my men. Copy that. You, take out the door. You, with me. Yes, sir.
So Tess is dead. She stays back so she can hold him off at least for a little bit so he can escape. And that's another difference from in the show and in the game.
We should
'Cause
move.
right now we're being chased by Federal soldiers. We're being chased by Federal soldiers instead of, in the show, infected. Like I said before, they are connected. The infected are connected. So after we find out that Tess is infected, and infected from one of the bodies that were Firefly, springs up to attack them, but Joel immediately takes him down. That's when we see little fungi come out from the ground and wrap over their hand, and then we are cut to a separate shot of a different infected that looks to be like a stalker. And then they're all awakened and they all rush the Capitol building. And then that's when they have the whole thing where like she doesn't have enough time, and she basically tells them to take Ellie to not Tommy, but to a different character we haven't met yet. The character being Bill and Frank. There's a huge difference there, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But she tells Joel to take him to Bill and Frank, which is a huge difference because in the show they're looking, or before like they are told to take Ellie to the Fireflies, they're trying to look for Tommy, or at least Joel is trying to look for Tommy. And in the show, it seems like Tommy had left them through the Fireflies and then just left the Fireflies. We aren't fully certain both in the show and in the game, but in the show, Joel is way more just like, I need to find Tommy. I need to find Tommy. Where is Tommy? And like we see him go through it a little bit in the show, but that's just as a point. In the game, we are never really mentioned Tommy. Like, we're never told. Up to this point, we don't even know where Tommy is. Like, where's Tommy? Is he dead or whatever? This is the only line we ever get of Tommy, because again, we're never told where he is. Like, we were never told, or no, we're told that he joins the Fireflies, but also he left the Fireflies. And that's what we're told in the game. That's it. But yeah, that's another difference, and another. So, like, obviously being chased by infected, Tess stays back to fight off the infected, sort of. She dumps out a whole bunch of grenades and like the gas and like oil, and so she blows up. And her death is way. Both of them are really just like saddening. In the game, she is shot by soldiers trying to hold off the soldiers from pursuing Joel and Ellie. In the game or in the show, she's holding off the infected from being she's holding off the infected, except they're ignoring her, which I feel like I know. I feel like they're just because like she's already infected, she's already somewhat connected to the cordyceps infected, and then she's also approached by the same stalker that we see earlier that awakens, and they literally kiss, sort of, but that's like a symbol of infection. And somebody mentioned that or the director of the show mentions how love is going to be the bad of the show. Is going to be the big bad of the show, and love is a sign of, or kiss is a sign of love and affection. I feel like that's kind of just like another like example as to what he means. But isn't the infected is not actually kissing her? It's actually spreading the virus with the. If you remember correctly, if you remember, I mentioned the mycologist. I mentioned how she pulled out like these little tendons from like the infected dead body on the table. Those go into her mouth, and that's one of the prime ways of spreading in the show, and not in the game, because in the game, one of the bigger ways of spreading the infected is through spores, which is not in the show. That's another thing. Also, she mentions save who you can save. I have that literally written down right here. Save who you can save is one of the last things she says before Joel grabs Ellie and just rushes out of there. Tess doesn't push her. She doesn't have to convince Joel, because right here we see Joel literally like, oh, we can fight, and he tries to stay, and she pushes him away, both figuratively and literally. While in the show, he's just like, all right, well, I have to leave you. Bye. And then she grabs Ellie and leaves. And then she blows up after being French kissed, and we see the aftermath on the outside of the building. But that's basically it. That's basically the end of the episode. But we shall move on, because I'm pretty sure there's more. Or like, I feel like we're gonna start somewhere else.
Joel.
I got this.
I got this. Federal soldiers. Oh god, okay. We're gonna figure this out.
Whoa! Get him!
Cover the exit. Cover me. I'm moving up.
I messed up here.
Run away!
Oh, I forgot this was a part of the building.
Make it easy on yourself.
Negative.
Search the perimeter.
On your left.
They're heading to the... All right, listen.
Let's go, Ellie. Try to be a bit more stealthy, but I'm not good at stealth for some reason. I'm just gonna get out of here.
What are we doing?
Blocking the door.
We're gonna go through that hall. Stay down. I don't know how many more there are.
Report.
South clear.
North clear. No target. Hold your positions. Hey, get him! Okay. Get him! Stick with me!
I missed. Dude, how do I miss that? It shouldn't be a hard shot. There we go.
I don't see him. You got visuals? Negative.
Okay.
Joel, look. Joel, there's the exit.
Yeah, I know
See
there's
it.
the exit.
Close.
Almost.
There's stairs over there.
Stay low.
They're following us.
Run down there.
Damn it.
I mean, yep, there is. Please tell me we're in the next section of the game.
There's a soldier over there.
Hold your position and wait for reinforcements.
Copy that.
How the hell are you breathing in this stuff?
I wasn't lying to you.
You spot him?
I
No,
missed
wait,
him when he ran by.
I didn't see anything.
Search the area.
Okay, another thing, because this is another, like, somewhat of a big difference. I mentioned how Joel is very skeptical about Ellie in the show. In the game, he is very subtly like, you know, like, what's the point? He's never really convinced up until a certain point, both in the game and in the show. In the game, we see that we know that she is definitely immune. It's because she's able to breathe in the spores without being affected by it. It's like she's not coughing like a whole bunch. She's not like, you know, falling apart or whatever. Which this scene sort of like was like one of the things I was like, how are they going to explain without the spores? And in the show, they somehow were able to, to like replace that scene with something else. And it actually makes sense. In the show, in the museum, when they're attacked by the clickers, Ellie is bit again. And again, Joel is like, what the heck? Like she's definitely going to become infected now, because I think earlier he had questioned like, oh, what if like this, like what if this one bite is, just, wasn't that bad, but what if a second bite were to change her? And so she's bitten again, and then it is used as an example for tests like this is real, like this could be something.
Fine, let me get the hell out of here before any clickers
That's another
show up.
difference, which solidifies Ellie being immune. I don't have a brick nor a bottle. Okay, they're all going that way, which means we're going this way.
Fuck. Not here.
I really wasted bullets because of that. Just because I suck at aiming.
Clickers will get him.
Clickers look at it.
Hey, I can't swim.
We'll figure something out.
Figure something out. Where is it? Okay. Obviously, I mentioned how Ellie still can't swim in the game or in the show. Did I mention how cold and disgusting this gotta be? Also, wouldn't the water go in the gas mask? Which would then also ruin the gas mask. Putting too much real life
Ellie?
logic onto this. Okay.
Hey, look, it still works.
In the show, she's given a flashlight, by the way. That's like a really minor change. Interesting. Your contact is a dude named Frank. He's the guy on the outside I've been trading with. He's who wants into the Boston QZ. Meet him in the Park Street exit of the subway station, right by the Capitol building. Attached is his visa and QZ papers. You like that handiwork? Be careful down there. Some of my other guys are reporting clickers and stalkers in the area. Where the hell is this guy? I've been waiting here for over 2 hours, sweating bullets. I keep thinking I'm seeing something moving in the shadows. Feels like a stalker is going to jump out at me any second now. I've been giving him another 15 minutes and then I'm heading back. Something I never noticed was the mention of Frank.
Just stay put.
There's a mention of Frank. And I'm probably going to have to talk about that more in the next episode, and the next week, because it's kind of a spoiler for the game and maybe the show. What's on here? Firefly pennant. Can I pick it up? Can I pick it up, please? Pick it up, please! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's gotta be so uncomfortable too, I feel like. Okay. Anything else down here? No? No? Okay. Alright. It's gotta be so cold in here.
Anything down there?
It's a dead end.
Or just... This is really difficult to do in real life. At least for me it is. I'm very scrawny and weak.
Get on.
Really?
Ellie.
Okay, okay. Be careful.
I got you.
Alright. Okay. There's another med kit here. Which I'm gonna pick up definitely. Wait a minute. Atlas. Across the sky. Forgotten place.
Let's get out of here.
Is there anything over there? Is of use to us? No? I don't know why I always think like we can go in there because there's something in there for us. You know, might as well watch it.
Hey, look, about Tess. I don't even know what
Here's how this thing's gonna play out. You don't bring up Tess.
Tess.
Ever.
Ever.
Matter of fact, we just keep our histories to ourselves. Secondly, don't tell anybody about your condition. They think you're crazy, they'll try to kill you. And lastly, you do what I say when I say it. We clear?
Sure.
Repeat it.
What you
You
say,
say
goes.
goes. Notice how it wasn't what she said it. She didn't repeat it. She just said it her own way.
Now there's a town a few miles north of here. There's a fella there that owes me some favors. Good chance he could get us a car.
Okay.
Let's get a move on.
That scene is always just so interesting to me. It just is.
Now there we go.
Entering
It'll be
Lincoln.
faster to go through here.
Man,
What?
nothing. It's just... I've never seen anything like this, that's all.
You mean the woods?
Yeah. Never walked through the woods. It's kind of cool.
He was so beautiful, man. But that's where we're gonna end it, because this is as far... We went a little bit ahead. I'm pretty sure this is where we're gonna start in the show, or maybe a couple things have also happened in the show. But yeah, this is where we're gonna end it now. Is there any other thoughts that I can remember? To my knowledge, there isn't. Or at least not in my notes that I can remember. Yeah, that's currently everything that I can remember from that I have written down here, and anything that I can just remember. I mentioned the theory, I mentioned the beginning, I mentioned some things from the beginning of the first episode. I think that's everything right now. Unless anything that is different and yeah, different from the show, and also just things in general in the game. So I guess that's it for now. I will be trying to do this every week, probably not on the same day. It's gonna be very inconsistent, but I'm gonna try to do it before the next episode would come out. Every episode for the Walking Dead, The Last of Us on HBO Max. It's on HBO Max. It's every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. But other than that, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and that's about it. Thank you, and goodbye. Oops.